Okay, hey guys, today I'm going to show you some of my airsoft guns that I spray painted, and also going to give you guys some tips on how to spray paint them, what are some of the right ways, some do's and don'ts, and so let's get started. Alright, so first off, I have here my Smith & Wesson M4505 soft air pistol. It was previously all black, and I decided to spray paint it a gold color. So basically what you want to do for pistols, I think they're harder than rifles, because there's a lot of nooks and crannies that you have to cover and stuff like that. So basically the easiest thing to do is to remove anything and everything possible that would be hard to spray paint. So for example, the grip. In this case, the grip is removable. So what I would do is take the grip off. I mean, you want to make it as easy as you can to spray paint. So you just try to remove the grip and just set it aside. And then you expose the rest of the gun. And also take out the clip. I mean, you don't need it. You don't need to spray paint it. Plus, you wouldn't want to get paint inside the spring of the mechanism where the BBs go, because that would create a lot of problems. So put that aside. So next, if there's any, there might be some weights in your pistol, as I have right here. All these little weights. Just take them out. It's pretty simple. These are kind of tough to take out, so I'm going to leave them in for now. But you would take them out regularly. Also, any exposed things that could be that you don't want spray painted, because it would mess up the firing of your gun, like this. In here, like the mechanism for the safety, you'll see it go down right there and up. Also to fire the trigger, cock it back. Same thing on the other side. So to cover these things, use tape, or what I like to use, these little circle dot thingies. They're like garage sale labels. They work it easy. All you do is slap them right on where you want to cover, instead of wasting mounds and mounds of masking tape. And then from that point, you just pretty much tape whatever else you want to cover. The trigger I covered, tape around it. Make sure you get in this little box right here inside there, because that's all mechanism gears. You don't want to mess that up. I also I covered this thing. This was like a little grip piece. It was textured. I like to cover that, so I cover that with masking tape. When you're covering things with masking tape, I would use something like a sharp edge, like a pin or a flathead screwdriver or something sharp. Be careful though, don't cut yourself. And just make sure you press the masking tape into the grooves. Like this would be really hard, so it's like pretend like my fingernail is a pin. You just press it into the grooves like that. And you do that wherever basically do it wherever you want to keep the same color, keep it black. Make sure you don't paint over the sides, obviously. And that's about that. That's about it for that. You put it all back together. And it's really strange. What I found with this gun in particular, after the common belief is that when you spray paint something, it's harder to move things, like the mechanism, the cocking mechanism, the trigger release, whatever. But with this gun, it's smoother to cock now, which is very weird. So I'll test it. It's really easy to cock, and I'm gonna dry fire it. Don't dry fire your guns, but just to show you. And it's much better. And obviously this part was silver before. You just cover that up with tape and press down. Any little screws or dots that you want to keep black, that'll make it look good, like this. I would use one of these things, cut them up into a little circle, and slap it right on here. This one I kept gold. I like to keep it gold. And also remember to keep your sights black. I don't know if I said that already. So that's that for this one. I liked it because it's a golden gun. Now I'm going to show you a Scar. Well, it's not a Scar, it's actually a Heckler & Co. G36C. Full auto and semi-auto rifle. This is my brother's gun. It was originally black. and he decided he wanted like a desert camo, so I gave him like one of that. And again, with this gun, you know, you want to basically whatever you want to keep black or gold or whatever, you know, to make it look aesthetically good. You basically paint it over with masking tape, a good quality masking tape. Also, take out anything that you don't want to waste your time covering, like the clip. You don't need it, so just take it out. Same thing with the sight, his red dot sight. You just take that off. Also, other things that you can take off that'll make it easier for you to paint it. You know, try to do so. Like this thing, you take this off. The battery compartment. You know, I painted this separately. Just put spray masking tape over the rails, and then sprayed the rest of the thing with I use Krylon, the generic Krylon spray paint. I like to use gloss. A lot of people don't. I don't know why. I mean, I think it looks cool with gloss. It depends what your situation is. So I like that a lot. And you know, also anything you want to keep black, like the logo, to keep that black. The trigger black, obviously. Stuff like this is tricky, so remember to use that pin or screwdriver to get in the groove so no excess paint seeps through. If it does seep through, which it could happen, just use like nail polish remover, and you just basically scratch it off, wipe it off. Same thing, like the top rail, he wanted to keep black, so kept the sights black, the rail black. Actually, it looks really cool, you know, like two-tone black, and you know, it looks pretty sick. And foldable stock, you know, make sure you keep this stuff black because you don't want the spray paint to chip off with excess, you know, wear and tear. It probably won't if you're using a good solid plastic spray paint. It won't chip, but that's it for that. So, you know, also like here's the caulking mechanism. Make sure you tape that up. Other side, you know, and obviously cover the barrel, everything else. Okay, so that's it looks kind of like a scar now, minus the stock. It looks kind of sick. So that's that for that gun. And now I'm going to show you my FAMAS. It's my FAMAS F1. I painted it like an Arctic camo. Again, you want to take off anything and everything that you don't want to paint. Don't waste paint. You know, you don't want to waste. Above all, you don't want to waste your time covering the whole thing. So, like example, I took the red dot sight off. I took off the battery compartment in the front. I covered the trigger and pistol grip. I didn't want to paint the entire pistol. I didn't want to cover. I didn't want to cover the entire grip and trigger with tape. So I just took like an old ratty sock that I had, and I just basically covered it, you know, from here over, and you know, taped it to make sure it wouldn't fall off. So if you want to do that, that's like a smart idea. It's economical, you know, on a waste tape. Obviously, I took out the trigger because I want to paint that. Make sure you obviously cover inside. Also, the butt plate, covered that with tape, masking tape. You know, barrel is pretty long, so I taped the whole thing. Or you could put like a tube over it, like such as this. Just cover it. You can cover it like that. You know, don't get any ideas. It's not a silencer, but if you want to do that, instead of taping the whole thing. And some of you guys may be wondering how I got some of the lines and leaf structure like that. Basically, what you want to do, this is the easiest thing, and this is what I recommend. You take a piece of note card paper, like flashcard paper, or like cardboard, and you cut that to any style you want, any leaf pattern you want, any camo pattern, anything, whatever you want to do it. I like to do it. What I did with this gun was like a tiger stripe sort of leaf camo, and I did some black stripes in between, and then these white leaves, and I just cut it from a, I made my own leaf, I drew my own leaf pretty much. And I cut it from a 4x6 flashcard, because that's thicker than paper. And make sure that you use a very sturdy, thick stencil, because when you hold it up against it, you don't want the paper, don't use paper, because then if you hold it up against it, it'll stick to it, and then it'd be a pain in the ass getting it off, and it would ruin the whole paint job. So that's about it. Sorry I don't have a video for how to doing the actual painting, but based on what I said, if you have any questions or any requests or any comments, I'll do my best to reply back as quickly as possible. And again, anything you guys have, any tips for me, I could always use tips, or any questions, just let me know. All right, thanks for watching.